So you're a new CDL holder, you're just out of school, and you're wondering if Werner is the first company that you should try. And I'm here to tell you, most likely not. Let's get into why. I have a cons list and a pro list. I'll tell you right now, the cons list is a lot longer than the pro list. So I'm gonna start with the pros of Werner, which are very few, and then we're gonna go into the cons. And as I go through this list, enjoy this video of the mountains that Werner sends their rookies on. Very scary, so keep that in mind as I go through this list. So the pros, the tablet. Everything is on a tablet, a Samsung tablet, and when it works, it's actually nice. The logs are on there, everything's electronic, so you don't have to do paper logs or keep track of anything. It's all done automatically on the tablet. So when it is working properly, it is pretty nice. The other pro is if you don't get a refrigerator on your truck, which you most likely will not get a mini fridge, they do provide ice bags at the terminals for free. So that's pretty cool. If you do buy a cooler and you don't want to spend money on a fridge for whatever reason, at every terminal location at Werner, they do provide free ice. And the last pro on the list is the Drive Werner app. Now, it is pretty cool because you can access it on your phone or from the tablet that Werner gives you. But either way, when it is working properly, that's the caveat, it is pretty cool. You use it to get paid, submit your paperwork when you're done with the load, and everything is on there, all your recent loads, your past loads, how much you're getting paid. All of that information is on the app, so it is very convenient in that regard. So that is the pros of Werner. Now let's go over to the cons. The cons start with orientation. Now, I went to Lake City. I don't know all the other locations, but if you go to orientation in the Lake City, Florida terminal, prepare to stay in a very crappy motel. It is a Days Inn, and it does have roaches. That's unfortunate to say, but it does. I've stayed there on separate occasions, and on the second one, I actually saw the roaches, multiple roaches in the room. The first one, I didn't see any, but that doesn't mean they weren't there. All right, the second con is that Werner talks about Werner cares, safety this, safety that. Werner does not care about you or your safety. As you can see in the videos that are playing, they send you in the mountains. They send two rookie drivers, myself and my partner that I'm teaming with, to drive through the mountains in the middle of winter. Very dangerous, especially if you're a rookie that doesn't know what he's doing yet. All I can tell you is drive slow and take your time, but you just never know. Like, you're literally out here risking your life driving this truck for Werner. And you'd think that they would work your way up to something like that, have you do a few runs and work your way up to driving in the snow and then work your way up to driving in a mountain. No, they just send you out there. So if you're thinking about your safety, if you care about your life, keep that in mind. They will throw you out there literally to the wolves and hope for the best. So whatever they tell you, they don't care about you. I'm going to tell you that right now. And whatever these recruiters tell you when they come to your driving school, like they did to mine, they tell you all this stuff, they sell you all these dreams, but realistically, 95%, if not more, of what they tell you at orientation, of what they tell you to recruit you is a lie, 100%. And it's very sad because there were other companies that they seem like they were a straight shooter type of company that actually tell you, and you don't go to that company and you go to Werner thinking that it's better, but realistically, they just lied to you. And you're thinking you're gonna have options and you don't. So consider that when you're getting the sales pitch from a recruiter from Werner. Next con. The team's pay is absolutely horrible. Now, other major carriers like Covenant only have teams, as far as I know, or as far as when I was in school and the recruiter came to the school, that's what they said, they only have teams available. But the team's pay starts out pretty decent. In comparison to Werner, the team's pay is really bad. So basically the way they break it down is the truck makes 55 cents per mile, and how they split the pay is the cents per miles itself, they split it. So that 55 cents gets split in half. So it's basically 27.5 cents a mile per driver. And they say you get about 5,000 miles per week. Now, surprisingly enough, it looks like they lied about that too, because after my first load, I looked at my pay stub and it literally says that they paid me 21 cents per mile instead of 27.5 cents per mile that they promised before I started driving on the account. Either way, whether it's 21 cents or 27.5 cents, it's still horrible pay compared to other companies that are paying teams literally close to 100,000 a year per driver. The next con, they will give you loads and then they'll make you split the load halfway through and give it to someone else. Instead of having you take the load from point A to point B, they'll give you the load, you'll accept it on the tablet, and you're going to be thinking you're going to take it all the way to the end, but about halfway through the trip, they'll update your load on the tablet and tell you to split it at a terminal or at a drop yard so that somebody else can pick it up from there and finish the delivery, which is not cool because obviously that's cutting into your money. If you're getting paid cents per mile, obviously the more miles you run, the more money you're going to make. So when they make you split a load, especially after you're thinking that you're going to take it all the way to the end, it's really messed up and it does mess with your wallet, and that's not cool. The next con is that they often set unrealistic appointment times for loads, and then they get on you about being late and they harp on you to make sure you're not late, but you're setting an unrealistic expectation to begin with. So if they're telling the customer that, that's Werner's fault. Especially if you have a rookie driver that's just getting into the swing of things, you can't expect them to know how to run everything so smoothly right off the jump. They have to get that experience, and they have to obviously get the miles in, and they'll get better and make things smoother as they go. Now, that's it for the cons list. And if you're still watching this video, I hope you make the smart decision and not go to Werner. Just to end the video, I will say I wouldn't recommend this company, but we all have to start somewhere. This is the type of industry where experience is everything. And if you're fresh off of CDL school, you can't just go to any company. You have to start somewhere, like I said. So for whatever reason, you have to come to Werner. I recommend doing your 3 months and then leaving for another company that doesn't require more than 3 months of experience. Now, there are plenty of opportunities out there if you look, because I've done research, and a lot of companies require a minimum of 3 months of experience. And it's not bad considering that more companies require more than 3 months to a year, 6 months or more, a year or more, or even more than a year. So that would be my recommendation. If you must come to Werner, stay here for 3 months, thug it out, do what you got to do, and then leave Werner, never come back, and move on to something else, because this is one of those companies where unfortunately they are so big and so massive that everybody's just a number, and they try to make it seem like you're not. They try to make it seem like they care about you as an individual, and realistically in their actions they show you that they do not care. You're just a number. For every one person that quits, they get 5 new people to take that person's place, and it's really just a revolving door of people leaving and new people coming on every single day. So they realistically don't care, and they realistically know that they're paying their teams horribly, but teams is where the money is at. Teams, I would imagine teams is where Werner is making a boatload of their money. They can afford to pay their drivers really low wages, especially because they're new and they don't know any better for the most part. And a lot of times new drivers just don't have a choice. They don't have a lot of options. They just kind of have to take what's available to them until they start getting some experience under their belt. So Werner knows all of this, and obviously they're taking advantage of that. You would think that they would kind of take the opposite approach and try to retain good people, but like I said, they're so massive that everything's just a numbers game to them, and they're going to make their money regardless. So that is my review, I guess, if you want to call it that, on Werner. You've been warned, and good luck on your CDL journey. If this video helped you out, if you like the information, make sure you leave a like on the video. It really helps out. And if you want to see further content related to trucking in general, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of those videos. Other than that, I will see y'all in the next video.